Надо быть мягким, надо искать компромисс во всех делах. Даже если взять как мусульманин, не тот силен, кто там, у кого больше там мускул или чего-то. Силен тот, кто себя может контролировать в гневе, кто может это все подавлять. Из-за мелочи на дорогах люди могут там чуть ли не убить друг друга. Я думаю, нам всем надо быть мягче, надо всегда искать компромисс и все решать по-доброму.
Rastı mı?
Rastı ben satmadım.
Ama gasan seri onu içiyorsun hadi. Ne mi? Rastı mı? O ne?
Бросайте голову туда в сторону и сзади спиной. Хорошо.
Now that UFC 330 is official, attention will turn towards what might very well be Ian Machado Garry's toughest test yet in his career. Where others have analyzed Garry's mobility, distance, and strikes, it seems that Islam Makhachev may be doing something else entirely, as reports and training videos show that the champion may be focusing on the threat posed by Garry's body type and ability to fight from a distance. As the fight approaches, people are beginning to question whether or not Makhachev can prevent Garry from succeeding.
Просто отек, сползай, 5 минут.
Есть какой-то возрастной дедлайн? До какого возраста хотел бы выступать?
Нет, возрастной я не думаю. Есть пробег.
Like many of the biggest coaches and analysts in MMA, Javier Mendez believes Ian Machado Garry is a legitimate threat, but he ultimately sees Islam Makhachev as the far more complete fighter. Rather than dismissing Garry's confidence, Mendez praised his abilities while explaining why Islam's versatility makes him one of the toughest fighters in the sport to beat. Throughout the interview, Mendez repeatedly emphasized respect for Garry, but never wavered in his belief that Islam will control the fight.
Yeah, when I see that, to me, it's like he knows it's going to be a tough fight, and he's just he knows he's going to struggle with Islam, and I think it's almost like he's building out a prediction knowing that he won't be able to stop him. You know what I mean? So he's almost trying to predict that that's what he wants to do, but that's the way I read it. I don't know.
It's possible. I don't know because I don't know him. Never met the guy. I respect him. He's a really, really good fighter. He's #1 for a reason. I mean, come on. He stopped Carlos Prates, for God's sake. So he's good, man. He's real good. You can't underestimate him by any means. And when fighters talk, this, that, they're not really being overconfident. They're just being confident. They feel that they can beat the guy, so they can say, I can strike with you, I can do whatever I want. And in Islam's case, he actually is one of the very few people that can do whatever he wants. We've been saying that about him forever.
When discussing Garry's prediction of finishing Islam in the 4th round, Mendes admitted he never encourages his own fighters to predict specific finishes. From his coaching perspective, focusing on a knockout or submission can distract a fighter from executing the overall game plan. Instead, he prefers his athletes to prepare for a full 5-round battle and let the finish come naturally if the opportunity presents itself. While he understood why Garry was making bold statements, Mendes saw them as confidence rather than something that would actually influence the outcome against Islam.
He's a great striker. He's a great jiu-jitsu guy. He's great on the ground. He's great at judo. I mean, he's got the whole everything. He's got everything, so he can do whatever he wants. So he's a hard person to figure out, because how do you fight him? Oh, we're going to take him to the ground. Okay, then now you got to deal with this stand-up. Oh, we're going to deal with this stand-up. Well, now you got to deal with these takedowns. I mean, he's so difficult to prepare for. And with Islam, we just prepare him for anybody and anybody. So it doesn't matter what style. He can fight any style. That's why I've always said we can change Islam from minute to minute, second to second on how he fights, because he's that good everywhere. And he's one of the only ones that I can say that about.
And also this weight as well. I feel like it's a good weight for him too. Islam said this about Ian Garry style-wise. He's a tricky fighter. He told Red Corner MMA he constantly runs away, fights on the back foot. His opponents always have to chase him. I wouldn't say he's an entertaining fighter from his perspective.
The opening statement made by Angelo Bodetti is that he does not see the fight as competitive at all. The prediction that he made is simple, that Islam will take down his opponent at some point during the fight, and after this happens, the fight is essentially finished. While another panelist mentioned that the footwork, reach, and mobility of Garry may make it hard for Islam to pin him down, Bodetti thought that this would just cause a delay in the inevitable.
I don't think this fight gets past. If this fight hits the ground in the first round, it doesn't get out of the first round.
Well, you think he subs him? I don't think he gets subbed. I think Ian Garry's working his dick off with jiu-jitsu, and he's at Charles Oliveira's gym. What the hell's that? Shooter Box. He's at Shooter Box. He's training his ass off.
I don't think he gets subbed.
JDM didn't get subbed. You make it sound like Islam's just subbing everybody.
He is subbing everybody. What are you talking about? He
subbed Charles Oliveira, and that was his last submission win.
No, it was not.
4 years ago. All right, I'm just making
Dustin Poirier was subbed him right after that.
Oh yeah,
Moicano right there. Charles Oliveira. I think almost
those
all
don't count. Let me run you through why those don't count. Dustin's a drunk. We know that. We also know.
Hey.
He said he is. First of all, he said he is.
Dial it back. Calm down.
He said he is. He came out and said it. Anyway, the Moicano win, that was on an hour and a half notice. That doesn't count. Moicano had no business in that fight.
The debate soon veered off toward how possible it is for Garry to make it through on the ground. His co-host, Bodetti, believes that Garry's experience at Shootbox, as well as the advances made in jiu-jitsu, will ensure that he does not succumb too quickly. However, Bodetti strongly disagrees, citing the fact that Islam has a strong reputation of getting submissions from top-notch fighters. Although admitting that most of the submissions that Islam has won have been unusual, he says that Garry's grappling experience can't compare to what Makhachev has done.
My point is, I think Ian Garry's putting in enough work that he's not going to get subbed immediately or subbed at all.
No, I think once it hits the ground, he gets subbed pretty easily. He almost got subbed by Pratis. Do you not recall that?
Pratis almost knocked him out.
Pratis was almost submitted him as well.
And I also think, and you should know this, I also think it's like you're worried about what you're expecting, meaning you're fighting Pratis, you're worried about Pratis' striking. So anything other than striking is going to throw you for a loop. Just like if Islam came in here and didn't shoot a single takedown, I think it'll screw Ian Garry up a little bit. If Islam just came forward and got in Ian Garry's face and started bombing away, Ian Garry's going to be like, what the hell is going on right now?
I just think the speed.
Now, I don't think that's a good game plan. But.
No, the speed's going to be difficult for Islam in the beginning. The movement, the speed, the way he punched, the way he kicks at the knee, the speed of his hands, all those things will be difficult for Islam in the beginning. Once the fight hits the ground, I don't think it gets out of the first round. I think he subs him with a side choke, or he
Really?
subs him. Yeah, he subs him with a side choke. I think Ian Garry gives his back to get up.
According to Rashad Evans, the fight against Islam Makhachev will be a lot harder for Ian Garry than many people would have thought at first. Evans admitted that Makhachev is one of the best MMA fighters today, having great striking skills, heavy kicks, and top-level grappling. However, Evans highlighted the fact that Garry himself has a set of skills that will make it hard to beat him. According to Evans, Garry is one of the greatest problem solvers and adjusts well during the match, which makes him hard to predict. Furthermore, Evans praised Garry's cunning and precise striking skills that could place Makhachev in trouble. Nonetheless, Evans did not think about the possible upset and highlighted the fact that there were still openings in Garry's game.
More fights announced, Ian Garry and Makhachev doing it in Philly.
Look, this is a lot better fight than I initially thought. We know that Islam is, he's morphed into so much more than just being that dominant grappler, right? His striking, his kicks, all aspects of his game is on another level. But there's something about Ian Garry's game that I feel is hard to get past. I feel like one thing that Ian does really well is that he makes adjustments really good on the fly. You know what I'm saying?
He's a problem solver.
Yeah, he's a problem solver, and I feel like that gives a little issue. He's got some sneaky power. He's got some accuracy. He got some tricky things that he does. But I'll say one thing that doesn't go in his favor.
Evans is worried about how Garry reacts when things go wrong. He thinks Garry tried to change his approach in the fight with Shavkat Rakhmonov, but then he accepted his situation instead of trying harder. Rashad said this way of thinking could be a big problem against a strong fighter like Islam, who keeps pushing and takes advantage of small chances. He also said Garry's grappling skills will be tested, but he praised Garry's toughness, long body, and fighting style. These traits could help Garry stay in the fight even if Islam does well with his wrestling.
Sometimes you'll see him in a fight and things are not going his way, and he'll kind of just, he'll concede to it in a sense, I forget the fight that I'm thinking about, but oh yeah, the Shavkat fight. Shavkat fight, it wasn't going his way, and I see him making his adjustments, but then after that, he was just kind of content to just kind of, oh well, you know what I'm saying, in a sense, and maybe that's the fight that changed him, but I feel like that's the only thing in his game that I see that is probably gonna be a problem facing a Makhachev. I mean, he has a ground problem to work through, but Garry's tough, man. He's long and he's scrappy.
Chael Sonnen said that Garry is a tough opponent and warned fans not to make a common mistake. Just because Islam hasn't fought someone with Garry's style doesn't mean he can't deal with it. Chael remembered times in MMA history when top champions were doubted for not showing a certain skill, but then they showed it when it mattered. That's why he doesn't think Garry's reach and movement will definitely cause problems for Islam. Great champions usually find a way to win when they are challenged. Sonnen also took time to talk about how Garry controls distances, which might be one of the most significant things in this fight. Sonnen agreed with the fact that Garry is good at going long and using his reach to land shots from a distance. But Chael also pointed out that there are very few fighters who control distances well against top competition. According to Sonnen, it's much easier to talk about how you can keep a fighter like Islam on the end of your punches for 25 minutes. Looking at Islam's recent performances, James Lynch pointed to his dominant victory over Jack Della Maddalena as proof that the move to welterweight has not slowed him down. He noted how Makhachev controlled every aspect of that fight with efficient striking and perfect takedowns. On the other side, Lynch praised Garry's victory over Bilal Muhammad, particularly his high fight IQ and disciplined approach. He also mentioned Garry's impressive 80% takedown defense, believing it will be one of the key statistics to watch when facing Islam. Despite praising Garry's defensive wrestling, Lynch still believes Islam holds the advantage because of his complete skill set. He explained that Makhachev is no longer just a grappler, as his striking has developed into a legitimate weapon alongside his elite wrestling. With knockout victories and dominant wins over some of the sport's biggest names, Lynch feels Islam has become a much more dangerous and unpredictable champion than earlier in his career. Lynch also reviewed Makhachev's resume, pointing to victories over Alexander Volkanovski, Charles Oliveira, Dustin Poirier, Renato Moicano, and Jack Della Maddalena as evidence of the level of competition Makhachev has consistently defeated. This was what some of the top people in MMA had to say regarding the upcoming fight between Islam Makhachev and Ian Machado Garry. Though many believe that Makhachev will retain his belt, others feel that Garry is capable of shocking the MMA community by pulling off an upset win. With a combination of Islam's superior wrestling skills and championship experience matched against Garry's physical stature, mobility, and fight IQ, this has become one of the fights of the year. As we move closer to fight night, the more polarized the views are getting, which just further enhances the hype behind this title fight. One thing that is for sure is that both these fighters have something to prove, and that once that cage door opens, none of them will show any mercy. But what do you guys think? Will Islam Makhachev continue his undefeated streak and keep the title, or will Ian Machado Garry steal it from under him?